Statics example 6. As you can see, I've started labelling the forces on this diagram. It's similar to example 5 that we've just been looking at, but in example 5 we had a bead threaded onto one string. There was no friction involved in that situation, and the tension was the same throughout the string. Now in this case we've got a bag of mass 10 kilograms, so that's the weight acting downwards there, attached to the end of two light and extensible strings. So we've got two separate strings, and that means that the tension will be different in each one. So I'm going to call them T1 and T2. The other ends of the strings are attached to fixed points A and B on a horizontal line. Again, we could imagine that's a ceiling. And then we've got some angles labelled 30 degrees and 60 degrees as shown. So, usual arrangement, we're going to resolve horizontally and vertically. So, vertically upwards, we're going to have T1 sine of 30 plus T2 sine of 60, and that will be equal to 10g. Resolving horizontally, we'll have T2 cos 60 to the right is equal to T1 cos 30 to the left. Now you'll see again here that we've got T1 and T2, it's simultaneous equations, and this is a very, very common kind of situation, and the best way to approach it is if we rearrange example 2, and so we get T2 cos 60 divided by cos 30 is equal to T1. So we've got an expression for T1 in terms of T2. If I now sub that into the first equation, where the T1 is, I'm going to put this expression here. So that's T2 cos 60 over cos 30. The second part of that equation is already in terms of T2, and that's equal to 10g, which is 10 times 9.8. So in your calculator, if you now substitute in, type in cos 60 over cos 30, that tells you how many T2s we have here. Add on sine 60, and that'll give you the total number of T2s on the left hand side. Once you've done that, you'll then be able to solve the equation by dividing through by that coefficient of T2, and when you've done that, you should get something in the region of 85 newtons to SF. So just pause the video at that point and just use your calculator, work out these two coefficients, add them together, and then 10 times 9.8 divided by that coefficient will give you the value of T2. I've rounded it to 2SF, but make sure you keep the full value in your calculator. It's then really easy. All you do is substitute back into this expression here. So we have T1 equals T2. So you're using the full value of 85. Multiply it by cos 60 over cos 30. And if you work that out, I got 49.